Hey, it's Shabes, and welcome to a special edition of AniTube Digest, where we're back in the old space, sort of. Obviously, it's a different room now, but it's the same room, but it's... Yeah. Anyway, I'm back in this space for nostalgia's sake, and we're talking about we're doing something very different, and I'm not sure how well it's going to go, but we'll see. So... You may have seen it already, or it didn't happen, or something. I don't know. I made a tier list of 100 anime YouTubers. I will not say the best, because it's definitely not that. And it's 100. It's just 100 that I think are the most significant and the ones that I wanted to make on that tier list. And there was a certain amount of criteria, and there was a lot of people left off of it to make it that round kind of focused 100. And one of the things I kind of made as a qualifier is that he had to have at least 1,000 subscribers, because that just is how I felt, really. But that means that a lot of channels that I really do like and would want to be on that tier list wouldn't make it on there. So that is essentially what this video is for. I'm talking about 24 channels that all have under 1,000 subscribers, at least as of the recording of this video, which is August 28th. Some of them are very close to 1,000, so they'll probably outgrow this list very quickly. But this is 24 channels that I thought deserve 1,000, or at least I thought are at least kind of interesting for you to check out. I have something to say about them, I guess. There's a wide variety of content types here, and I also have a list of videos I've chosen from each one in the description in a different playlist. And I'll talk about each of those videos when I talk about each creator, basically. Kind of give you an idea what they're about, what their content is sort of like. Me having only seen maybe a handful of their videos and testing some stuff out, but, try to give a relatively good sample of what their work is like. And then I have a video kind of what I think represents them best. Not like their best video at all. Not by no means... Am I saying that this would be their best video, because I haven't seen all the videos from all these people's channels for sure. Or their most popular or whatever. It was just kind of a random video that I'm like, this is cool. I like this from them. Check this out as a representative sample, basically. Yeah, this is already very rambly. So this is going to go great, I swear. It's also like the camera is flipped backwards because this is the new phone, but I can't see myself, and... but I was gonna record on my old one, but it's not charged, and I'm very worried it's not gonna work out, and I have only so much light. I am not doing so well here. Anyway, let's get started on this weird list of sorts. And this is in alphabetical order, so the first one I'm talking about is it's Kobe. Technically just Kobe, and he has a second channel, Kobe Sings. But Kobe is a very interesting... I'm just take a shot now every time I say interesting, because obviously they wouldn't be on this list otherwise. He's really funny. I've known him for a little while with being in our this particular Discord server, and he's very funny, very eccentric. He's the one that finds the absolute smallest and random anime YouTube channels. He's the one that kind of goes through r/AniTube, and there's a video where he kind of does a mockery of a parody of AniTube Digest, where he goes through just a list of r/AniTube entries, and they're all really fucking not good, or just kind of nothing to say about them. And he's really funny, really flippant, oh, this is bad. And this video I chose from his channel is Who's Konata from Lucky Star, which I guess is a dare or something, because the comments are oh my god, he did it, or something. And I think it's supposed to lampoon these people who kind of make these analysis videos. So it's if you were very holier than thou about anime YouTube, where all these people are just the curtains are blue and something like that. I think Kobe accurately makes fun of these guys people. He just kind of talks out his ass about Konata here, and has some cameos from Hiding in Public. which is funny, and core is at the end of it, and it's really funny. But like it's very straightforward. Other than that, I think Kobe's really doing his own thing. He's doing a lot of weird, different stuff. His latest video was talking about this Dark Souls ripoff, and he's streaming it on his Twitch channel, which he's used to be more active on Twitch at this point, as some of these people might be. But I enjoy his content, and it's just kind of whenever he feels like it. I think another really good example of this kind of content he does that sort of lampoons or trivializes what you typically see in anime YouTube is the Senko-san abridged video. It seems very off the cuff, and he's doing all the voices, and the lip flaps are just what you expect pretty much. Although the very first lip flap is like an MS Paint thing. It's really funny. But I just like how deadpan his delivery is, and like kind of absurdist everything is, and I like it a lot. He's really funny. If you made more videos, maybe, see what it'd be. But like, I think that's the one downside with his channel is that it's not very active. But he is active on Twitch, and he's a really funny guy. So I really wanted to talk about his channel and plug it. It's super biased because I know the guy personally, I guess. We talked in group chats and stuff, and he's a great guy. But this is his channel, and check that out if you want. Up next is AnimetalViking, and he tagged me a couple times in on Twitter, and it makes me think that he's made a new video and stuff, but actually it's just random teasers and concept stuff. So he's like active technically still on Twitter, but his last video was about a year ago, and it's okay, but like, so he's not the most active channel these days, but he has more of a catalog than some of these other guys. He's been around for a while, and he does a variety of stuff, particularly having to do with metal music. He has these videos of like kind of like talking about anime OPs from the perspective of a metalhead and stuff that he likes listening to and stuff that he isn't so much of a fan of. He has a couple analysis essay type videos, but the video I wanted to kind of highlight, and I commented as such as a really great idea, that I still think so. Are these? He has like 3 videos of this. I think he has one for Evangelion, and I think it's Berserkus. I'm not sure. I think Berserkus might be the other one. Berserkus. But this is like, let's construct a concept album for Ergo Proxy, and he talks about Ergo Proxy and the tone that it has, and even the kind of music that it uses, and he finds tracks from these albums that would best complement Ergo Proxy as a way of like kind of experiencing the anime through a different lens and stuff like that, and kind of getting a feeling for it, and as supplementary material basically. And I think it's really cool. He seems to have a very good understanding of the genre he talks about, metal music, and he's immersed in it very much of the times of like seeing the most recent releases and things like that. He had an ongoing podcast, which is going to be a recurring theme with this. Though there are a lot of people do podcasts, but I didn't really check out any of them because I only have so much time with so many channels and stuff. But it sounds interesting. He had various guests on talking about, I think, just metal music in general. I have the channel pulled up. I don't know why I'm not like using it as a resource. But I really like the particular concept album idea because it combines his 2 passions of anime and music and metal music, which I think is kind of his niche, which I think is really interesting. He has a top 10 metal albums of 2018 and a top 10 anime of 2018 sort of deal. So videos that like combine the 2 are really interesting. I will say it's I'm trying not to like use this as a way to criticize the channels or anything like that. It's more of a recommendation thing. I will say it's like he could use a better mic, but I think he knows that probably, or like, what can you do? It's not like you can't hear him or something, but it's noticeable. But I don't know. I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up, I guess. But yeah, like I really like his niche, and he's focused on that, and he does a lot of different stuff. He's made a couple AMVs as well, like earlier on. Like if you kind of scroll down his channel a little further, there's some cool AMVs there. So I dig those. So like it's a very interesting, different channel, and I really dig it. He's not as active at the moment, and I'm not sure what the deal's with that, but would it do? But yeah, I really enjoyed that. That was really cool. The next channel is Baka Raptor, and I think I heard about this channel from Digi. I'm not too sure. I don't quite remember. I think I remember Digi mentioning it at some point. But Baka Raptor is pretty much just a review channel, but it's very refreshingly straightforward. He really is just talking into a camera for most of his videos, and his thumbnails basically say that too. And I think it seems like it's one take for most. I didn't like do a thorough watch of all his videos or something, but it seems like a lot of them are done in one take, and he kind of just goes off on whatever anime he's talking about or a concept. Like recently, he seems to be doing this Kanokari red pill analysis. I didn't check that out, but it's a multi-part series for him. It's like episode 6, and they're much longer videos than his usual content. His usual content's very short. It's like 2 to 5 minutes. But I like that. It's very bite-sized, and like if it was more regular, it seems pretty regular recently, so that's good at least. Though if you look down in his channel, it's mostly him talking to a camera, but as of like 3 months ago, he started doing this one trend that I actually really like with complementing visuals. He has like his channel, his title of what he's talking about, and kind of a gist, like Kaguya-sama Season 2, Love is Sometimes War, and Bofuri Harmless. And the one that I put in the description is the first time he did something like this, a review of Kabukicho Sherlock from Kabukicho. So he's pretty much in Japan at the moment, and he seems to be traveling around. I don't know his full story, but he's in Japan at the moment, and he just walks around Japan and kind of sightseeing and stuff as he talks about an anime. And I think that's really refreshingly simple and different. He seems pretty knowledgeable, has seen a lot of stuff, not too hot take or something like that. I think his opinions are pretty well rounded and like grounded and not too hyperbolic, I guess is the thing I'm trying to say. Keep repeating myself. But I really enjoy his perspective, and his channel is pretty cool. Again, very simple and straightforward, but you don't necessarily see that all that often, and I think more people like that would be interesting and make the space a little more, more accessible, because I feel like a lot of people who watch anime YouTube might have this idea that, you have to have the clips and the editing and the whole thing and the whole production, but that's not necessarily the case. I like these videos where he's just kind of straight shooting his opinion, and the idea of the visuals with, filming around places, I think is really neat. So yeah, I like that a lot. Interesting channel. I'm trying to refuse not saying interesting too much. The next one is from Bess Sonozaki, and she's been putting out some really good videos lately. My favorite from hers is still probably the Higurashi and the Art of Adaptation video, where she talks about pretty much every single adaptation of Higurashi, including the radio drama and the live-action movies and the manga, of course. Very, very thorough over coverage, I guess, of the story of Higurashi and kind of what's the best way to experience it if you don't want to do the original visual novel. Because the visual novel is super long, and it has, all these mediums have their advantages and disadvantages, so whichever one that you prefer or are interested in, Bess kind of talks about each of those. But there's a lot of videos that, they're very long. They're all, like at least 25 minutes. I mean, there's one here, the Female Identity in Perfect Blue, that's 16, but, the rest of these, they're usually pretty long, and it's not like, I never felt like, especially the video that I talked about recently from her, Shirobako Beyond Coming of Age, I never feel like it's just repetitive or long-winded or anything like that. There are definitely some channels where they have very long videos, and you're like, we're in for it. You know what I mean? It's not like you're kind of but again, it's still a time investment regardless. But I think Bess makes it really worth it. Again, I've really only checked out the Higurashi video and Shirobako in full, because I don't want to just jump into one of these and watch a couple minutes or something like that to really get I could tell this video is good or something just from that, right? But I really enjoy her content. She's putting it out fairly regularly for how big these videos are. The frequency is actually pretty decent. And she's getting close to 1,000, so it's really exciting. So definitely check her channel out. I think it's really interesting. And she's also talking about not the most hot button topics either, like an NHK video. I don't even know what this one is. I'm Magase, the meaning of evil. I'm not sure which series that's from actually. But a couple Higurashi videos actually. There's 4 Higurashi videos, if not 5. The Mion Sonozaki might be a Higurashi character. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm ignorant in such matters. But she's doing pretty good here, and I think it's really exciting. So yeah, check that stuff out. It's hard work and it's really good. Evynne X Evynne, or just Evynne. she did tell me what it was, and it's still hard for me. I don't know why. Her channel's all about Hunter x Hunter and Berserk. I don't, she does talk about other anime. She has a video on Sagatsu no Lion. She has a video on Carolyn Tuesday. And but for the most part, she's been talking about Hunter x Hunter and Berserk pretty much. Those are very life-affirming anime for her, and manga. Mostly manga, I think, in the case for Berserk. I think she, but she also talks about the manga for Hunter x Hunter as well. And I know, having following her on Twitter, she's currently reading through Vagabond and having a real good time with that one. So there might be some upcoming Vagabond videos, maybe. Ooh, and that's a series that very little. I do not think Vagabond gets talked about that much, actually. So that would be really interesting if she really gets into that and starts making videos about that, maybe. Just a suggestion. But I recommended her Hisoka versus Crollo. Did I do it? Yes, the Hisoka versus Crollo video. Just because her editing is getting way, way better. I checked out some of her previous content. It was a really good video. Guts and Griffith, Children at Heart, talking about the connections that Guts and Griffith have with how they grew up having a goal, and Guts wants connection and Griffith wants a dream, and then when they meet each other, they both influence each other, and Guts suddenly wants a dream and Griffith wants connection, and because of that they end up growing apart, and then they there's these themes kind of going on that Evynne steps through. And I think it's really interesting. But a lot of this does seem to be subjects that are very important to Evynne. So I think that's what's really great. It's not kind of content for the sake of it, or whoa, be good SEO, or as it's it just talked about Hunter x Hunter and Berserk. The SEO's gonna love you, or whatever. It's not necessarily about that. I think there's that video of how Hunter x Hunter changed my life and other things like that. I'm digging her channel a lot, and it can only go up from here, and I like the focus, and again, the craft I think is getting better and better with each upload, so it's very exciting. So yeah, check out her channel. I think that's really cool. Yeah, it's hard for me to wrap these up, I suppose. But I'm really liking her channel a lot. You can go check her out if you like. I mean, who doesn't like Hunter x Hunter and Berserk? Am I right? But also from this particular voice too, because it's very male dominated. I would say the Hunter x Hunter and Berserk analysis crowd. It's all very male dominated. But so it's great to have this perspective here as well. She's doing a great job. So yeah, that's the thing I'm excited about. Check her out. I can't end these very well. Good stuff. Next up is funebure. Very, very weird, interesting channel. Interesting. Here it is. I'm just beating myself up when I really couldn't have. I could have just said it wasn't anything. Anyway, his channel's crazy, dude, and especially lately, in the past 5 videos or so. I have not been an avid watcher of his. But I can tell even just by the thumbnails that he really found his voice and his style and a tone, a very specific atmosphere and persona. Hiccups. And the video I linked in the description was in the playlist is the video that I found when I first discovered him and first kind of fell in love with his content with horror anime. And it's just everything he does with his voice and with the visuals and him drawing his own stuff. And there isn't so much in this horror anime video, but especially the hentai path, he does a lot of custom sketches and things like that. I think every video there's more and more production value behind it, quote unquote. And like it feels like a video. He feels like a channel that should have thousands of subscribers, like way more than he has, which is great. I really like videos that punch above their weight, and it looks like the latest videos are doing a little better, so that's really exciting. But I'm really enjoying his vibe. Again, he does stuff with distorting his voice and having different voices come in and voicing different characters. And the general sound design is really interesting. Again, it's its own. You know how like most YouTube channels are pretty much ride or die by their performance and by their sound and their delivery as a creator. Maybe their writing style might incorporate into that a little bit, but it's hard to like say that, oh, that was this person's video based on their editing. Like a lot of people's editing are stemmed from what they've seen before and what they're influenced by. And maybe I'm just not that cultured, but like Funebure is really coming into his completely from his own path, like his own perspective. Like I would say there's more outsider perspectives of like, I guess this is kind of the cliche answer, but like Tim Burton. Like I think the very first thing you kind of notice is a Tim Burton vibe. But that's really interesting, and that's more having to do with their tone and their atmosphere rather than the technical craft on display, I guess. It's not just like anime clips or something. It's actually very much not anime clips at all. I think he used anime clips in the hentai path. Yeah. And probably other videos too. Again, I have not like totally dived into this guy's channel or something like that. But I really enjoy his content, and I'm really looking forward to the next stuff he does. And it seems to be like, you know, again, like the frequency is also kind of picking up too. He's starting to really dig it, which is exciting. So really something to look forward to, something to keep an eye on for sure. I think this guy could blow up if he finds the right audience. I really think so. He has to just keep grinding, I think, and I think he's doing great. Even if he doesn't like get the huge success or something like that, I think like the following he could develop is really strong potentially. So yeah, I really dig this content, dude. It's really sick. And next is a GabyElla. So she has been putting out some more frequent content lately. And she had a stint of like talking about some older titles like Belladonna Have Sadness and Night on Galactic Railroad, focusing a little more on movies. But her channel has quite the variety. Lately, she's been doing more vlog style stuff, which is unique. I have not seen any of it myself, but you know what you do, whatever. She had a collab recently that I thought was really, really sweet, talking about kind of being an anime YouTuber and being in this community, a lot of which she, a lot of the channels she plugs in that video or in this video as well, not all of them. I'm sorry if I don't mention you, it's just because I'm not used to seeing your content that often, and you know, I'm just not as familiar with you. That's all it is, really, I think. The video I linked in the description that I thought would be interesting from her was how animated movies helped with my depression. And it's just kind of a introspective video discussing her life and what she's had to go through and how anime was there for her, as other things are very in flux, which was very interesting. And it was a very good like selection of movies that she cared about and grew up with. Not so much about those things, but using it to illustrate her point, basically. I thought it was really interesting. But she has a lot of variety to her content, and she started by making AMVs, so that's a lot of her content earlier, and I thought that was really interesting. I haven't checked any of those out either. I definitely could have watched more of her content for this, but like, I just really liked her that video I linked. I thought it was really sweet, and I'm liking her vibes a good deal, and what she's talking about. There's variety in what she's talking about and variety of how she talks about it. And so it's an exciting channel to keep an eye on. I really enjoy it, and yeah, it's really sweet. I really like her channel. And then we have Ginkotaku, who's mostly just talking generally with anime and subject by subject. I think there's a little experimentation going on with some haikus and some really cringe MHA haikus. That's kind of funny. But mostly, and the variety is really, the choice of anime is really different and kind of all over the place. There's a number of Hero Academia videos, But there's also kind of niche stuff like that he's done lately with Paradise Kiss and Princess Jellyfish, a little bit of Avatar too. That's kind of nice, and I'm enjoying his content. It's very soft spoken and comforting, like very like chill, which is something you don't get too often, especially for YouTubers that are very like in your face. That's kind of what YouTube sort of attracts, I guess. So like more chill stuff is really inviting and interesting. I linked his video on Mushishi just because I feel like that's kind of the best example I've seen of what him as a channel is like as a vibe, pretty much. And obviously talking about a very important series to him, he kind of bases his avatar off of course. And it's good analysis of Mushishi. And just the stuff he talks about, he's usually pretty good at, and having very thoughtful observations. But what I always really like about his channel is that he always brings it back to himself. That's always very hard to do for me, at least, and I'm sure for other creators. But it's very much a YouTube kind of thing, because it is essentially what it should be about, is our relationship with media, and not just kind of a definitive, this is the thing about this show or something, which is what most people do, and it's fine. But it's not all as memorable, I don't think. It doesn't have as much of a lasting impact. So I very much like that from Ginkotaku. I'm sorry I say the whole name, I guess. It's just Gin, I suppose. I don't know. But yeah, no, I'm enjoying his channel. He's relatively new. He only started like 10 months ago. But I'm enjoying the stuff that he's making and has some variety and whatnot. Yeah, that was really sweet. So yeah, I enjoy his channel for sure. I'm looking forward to his growth as a creator, doing bigger stuff. Like I would say that because the longest video he has here is under 10 minutes. They're all under 10 minutes. It's like 9.5 minutes. Not like it was like you have to do a 20-minute video or something, whatever, right? But I don't know. I thought it would be interesting to see what happens when he takes on more ambitious stuff. I think these are very small things that he's noticing and kind of ruminating on them, which is refreshing. But yeah, I think that would be interesting to see what he does when he challenges himself in that way, maybe. But I'm enjoying his content, and I hope you do too if you check it out. Hell yeah. GracieVeeVee is another channel, and I actually have not covered a video of hers on Digest yet, I'm pretty sure. But that's okay. I noticed her. I encountered her channel when she was doing one of the collabs with somebody, and I was liking her style and her kind of commitment and energy to it. So I subscribed, and and looking through all these channels that have under a K and everything like that, I thought her channel was very different. The subjects she's talking about are very out of the box and not something I would expect. There's actually a lot more animated content besides just anime. She has kind of a video series that she's started, but she hasn't done too much else with, I guess. Kind of defending about the Disney princesses and kind of their shtick, and it's the first video is in defense of Snow White. I didn't get too far into that one. Yeah, for no particular reason. I was just yeah. But the video I put in the playlist that I thought I watched all the way through and I was actually really interested in, because nobody's talked about this for reasons, I would imagine. Stop being scared of anime. Christian review sites need, what's the full title? Need to act. So this is talking about various Christian review sites that she uses, and she's part of a very conservative family. She goes to a Catholic college, and so this is a very genuine experience for her of going to these sites and then have no idea what they have to say in regards to anime. And I'm sure the reason she goes to these sites is for that particular perspective, which is something that is not represented at all in anime YouTube, I don't think. So I thought it was really interesting, and she's talking about the anime is no longer a niche thing, and it's going to be encountered by kids and by people who would use these sites. So you should have a perspective on them. And she's yeah, I give you some credit for, I guess, covering the Dragon Ball Broly movie, but there isn't even My Hero Academia on there. Naruto is labeled as a kids show on Netflix, and so kids are going to see it. Is one of the points she made, and it was good points. So I like that she talked about that. I thought that was really different and interesting. I don't know. She has a lot of different. She has kind of a vibe to it that she's talking about a lot of different stuff. I mean, not likely. Oh man, Pixar is such a different topic. I'm like, yeah. I mean, if you're talking about Pixar and anime, I feel like that isn't so common all the time. So I'm enjoying her content. She has more of an energy and a drive towards it. I like that. And so I'm enjoying her channel. For what little I've seen of it, I was enjoying it. To check that out. I think she's interesting. Okay, next is a channel that pretty much, actually, I will say is the reason I wanted to make this video, because I really wanted to talk, just because, like, when I'm making the tier list, if I didn't have this 1,000 subscriber thing, I would definitely have HazelNeverTalks on this tier list. But it would be weird if I have this channel that's under 1,000, that's under 100 subscribers. She has 79 at the time of me recording this. And like, it'd be weird for me to include her and not some of these bigger guys that most people know. And then she's just she's like a mutual on Twitter, and a former patron of mine. But yeah, like, I love her AMVs. I've watched pretty much all of them. They are all very, very different and interesting. She keeps challenging herself with every single one. And the one that I linked is so far my favorite, just because the music selection is so energetic and like inspiring. I just love this. I love the song, and the different stuff she's utilizing with live action footage and Fooly Cooly and text on screen. And it's very uplifting, positive message, and it's really good vibes. I fucking love it. But there's a lot of like very weird, eccentric stuff. Like, if you look at the thumbnails, I think it's like very chaotic and all over the place, and exciting in that way, a little unstable in that way. I hope she's doing well. She went dark a couple days ago, I guess. I mean, as of August 18th, which is only 10 days, so it's not that long ago. I shouldn't be that worried. And I know she unpledged for my Patreon like yesterday, so I know she's alive. And it's like, I really care about her. It just was like, I love her content, and I obviously don't know her personally, right? Because it's like, we've only had so many interactions and things. But I love what she makes, and so I like her as a person. I think that's kind of what it goes to, really. I know you can't separate. You have to separate her from the artist or something, but it's like, I care about her given what she's capable of, and her perspective on things. I think she's a great person. But like, in terms of her content, I think it's super exciting, and definitely one of the reasons I would want to make a video like this, getting the attention for everybody. Hey, there might be, I don't know how many people are going to watch this video. I would imagine with the number of people who watch Digest, which is roughly 1,000 people, let's say half of those people watch this video, and then that's 500 people, and then a lot of these channels are over 500 subscribers, and they would get to 1,000, and they would get a good boost, I think. Now, if they want that or not, I don't know, but like, I just feel like that's something I would wish for Hazel and for all these other people, is to get more attention, I guess, because their work is fantastic, and I'd want to reward that, I guess. I don't know, in some way. Yeah. But that's just me, I suppose. I love her AMV so much. And I really like her channel. It's fantastic. Hope she's doing well. Hope you're doing well. All right, next we're going to be plugging JawBurst, who's a person who's been around for a while and has connections to Anime YouTube, with knowing certain people and everything like that. But in terms of their channel, it's not the most populated at the moment. Like, it's weird. There's this TalkBurst podcast that I didn't really check out with various different anime YouTubers. But there's an episode 2 and then 5, 6, 7. So what happened to the rest of it is like weird. And I feel like JawBurst has been on making videos for longer than this, but like, at least according to their channel, their oldest video is like from 2018 or something. It's like, oh, I feel like you've been around for longer. I don't know. And I like the 3 essay videos that are on his channel. I ended up checking out all of them because, like, why not? Well, I have talked about the Agretzko video on Digest before, and I was going to include that one, but I actually wanted to include this Pop Team Epic is Dadaist art video from him, just because I think it has the better distillation of his type of vibe and like humor. He's a very awkward person, and, and the things that he says, but like it's always very interesting, and I think it's a vibe that not a lot of other people have, or if they do have, they wouldn't be making YouTube videos like this. I think with like him on camera and talking about things and kind of cutting back to himself and stuff like that. That sort of vibe takes a certain gusto, I guess, that I think is really interesting to see as a juxtaposition with JawBurst, with the kind of person he is and the way the things he talks about. I think the Evangelion depicted in an economic crisis has way more of that vibe. The way he starts that video of like anti-fascist. I as a Jew can, I don't know. It was very like in your face. I guess it's very hard to explain. But he just has this vibe, man, and it's very interesting. So like his channel is really, really different and interesting. I feel like I wish he talked a little more. I wish he made more stuff, I guess, or he wasn't so like caught up in like making a thing good or perfect or something. I don't know. It's like, try stuff and see what sticks, in my opinion, I feel. But I like his stuff a good deal. If not, it's just like it's something completely different, like a filling a niche that like I didn't know existed, sort of thing. I'm feeling it. I'm really feeling it. But this is another example of kind of like me doing it mostly because like I know the guy personally and like, or I talk to him often, and he's a really good guy. So this is like what if it could be transparent like that? But like I really like his stuff. And I hope he makes more. And where the heck happened to the other episodes of TalkBurst? Is it on the playlists? Yeah, I guess it's season 0. What is this? Oh yeah, I guess he just he did private a bunch of stuff. I see. Would it be then? Yeah, they don't represent the style he's going for now. This is fair. But like, I still think it's interesting. Good stuff. Oh, good. It's getting darker now. Love it. Let's talk about Noxris. Noxris has been making some essay-type content and relatively shorter, not like super long, but I like the length, actually. It's very nice and bite-sized. And his editing's really sharp, actually. He really like knows his way around Premiere, and it's the transitions are nice, and they're good videos to look at. But the substance is there too. It's not just style over substance, I would say. But that's the one thing. That is something that sticks out to me about it. But he's talking about different stuff every week, pretty much, or every other week. His uploads has been very consistent so far, and I'm liking his personal touch. He brings himself into his videos. The video I mentioned in the playlist is fishing in anime. And I really liked that he wasn't just talking about random fishing anime. He was like, "Why don't we just go fishing?" And he's out next to a river, and he's like, "Yeah, as someone who fishes myself," and sort of it's showing you that. He doesn't fish in the video, but I like that he had that dedication and went that far. And he talked about very fishing exclusive anime and his thoughts on it as a fisherman guy. But he's not like, that's not like all about his channel or something. I think every week there's something totally different about it. And mostly like seasonal, kind of nowadays stuff. Talked about Opere Ranman, Glepnir, Fire Force. But it's still stuff that, I'm not going to totally I'm not going to know what to expect with this guy. I like that he talked about older stuff as well with the fishing anime. Like he talked about this fishing show that I'm pretty sure isn't subbed fully, which is really great. I like that a lot. But I'm liking his channel. And he's just kind of doing that grind with like weekly stuff, but it's not like it's not transparently doing the grind. There's some channels that like are getting the doing the algorithm game and stuff like that, and it's not great. You can tell that they're forcing it, or like it's not great content. But I think Noxris is having a good time and putting out good stuff. So I'm really excited for him. it's a kind of an up and coming for sure, and look forward to what he has next. I think he's definitely a channel to look out for. It's really cool. It's good stuff. Yes, so Nunmanji has 923 subscribers as of me recording this, so I'm sure it'll be at a K by the time I upload, by the time this video drops. So it's like, whoa, what can you do? I'm sure they'll get mad of like, oh, they're at the tier list. Whatever, man. But I like his channel a good deal. I've been around ever since his Pokemon is truly, well, actually, I've covered his Hyoka What's in an OP video with he's a collab with What the What and Ember and all that. And so I've been in fairly early. And I like his channel. He's not so much of a shonen channel, although he does talk about shonen a fair deal in places, and he seems very knowledgeable of it. He's really great to follow on Twitter because he was like rereading Naruto and really having some in-depth stuff. He has a lot of commentary on community-based things, which I think reflects in his channel a good deal. He has the video I kind of plug in his playlist is You Don't Know the Creator, Shut Up. So he's talking, kind of calling out some creators, not like by name, but he's like, this person here, they make this mistake, and this is one reason why you shouldn't be just saying, oh, the creator is this or something, and calls out some Twitter people, and he's just making a commentary on the community in general, but when it comes to analysis, I guess, which is great. I think there's a similar thing with him calling out Totally Not Mark about his analysis of Goku, and some various Pokemon things with like what Pokemon's truly about, and Pokemon hates its fans. I think that's very reactionary to the community around, and I think he's as invested in that as he is about this other stuff. At least that's what it seems like to me. But I like that in a creator, and it's not very drama focused in the same way some other channels might have been. I'm not subtweeting anyone. No way. Who could that possibly? No. I like that this is very tasteful and it's through the lens of talking about anime specifically, and not simple. And it's something that Craftsdwarf does as well, where it's not just the actual anime analysis and talking about anime, but also the community's perception of anime and what that's like, and making a commentary on that. So I think Nunmanji is kind of following in the same footsteps in that way. Although I did like other more introspective stuff, like making a light novel is goddamn hard. I thought that was really interesting. Yeah, so like he's making a lot of different stuff, and he's being pretty successful thus far. Not blown up or something, but I'm sure he'll find that one viral thing and really take off. I think it's really exciting. So yeah, I'm positive he's going to outgrow this list very quickly. So what can it be? But he's definitely one of the reasons I wanted to make sure I make this video, because I would be leaving him off of this tier list, and I didn't want to because I think he's a great channel, and but there was my own reasons. I had to, there's only 100 that I was able to choose, and there's only so many places and stuff like that. I don't know. But he was definitely one of the main reasons I wanted to make a video like this and really plug him to you. So it's yeah, he's really just barely almost there. So get this guy to 1,000. This video should definitely do it. Look how many people have watched this video. If that many people subscribe to this guy, I think he'd be over 1,000 by now. So let's get him there. Let's get these guys there. Let's go. He deserves it. Let's do it. Yeah, I really like his channel a good deal, and I think he deserves it. And next is a channel that I have plugged before on Digest already, one of the few that I plugged in that early part of Digest, but then I thought it was kind of awkward to kind of include, so I kind of stopped doing that. But now this is entirely what this video is, so fuck me. But Nyard is a channel that is really interesting. I was like, don't say interesting, but what else can you say? Fuck. I was like, fuck it. It's sort of a twofold sort of operation, and I think there's other people collaborating with him, with like Roggle, namely. But Nyard specifically started doing his own thing, and by doing his own thing in his own perspective, and the video I plug in that is from that early era. The 3x3 manifesto, where he's talking about the craft of making a 3x3 and what thought goes into it, and you gotta make it. The simplicity of the box is really keynote, but you can make it a 16x9 and that sort of thing. It's really sweet. But the stuff that they've been making mostly on their channel lately that I think would be kind of worth following is the Nausicast, where they're going through pretty much every single major Ghibli film, because they talked about Grave as well, and only yesterday. There's these podcast length videos, and you just look at. I haven't really checked any of them out myself, because again, it's, podcast stuff. It's webby, but they're based on his other content I've seen, he's very smart sounding guy. He's well read into other things. He has this series on Evangelion. I don't know how much water it has. When I say that, it's more like a lot of people have Evangelion takes, and I'm not like a Evangelion scholar. I don't pretend to really get Evangelion. I really enjoy it as an experience, as a piece of art, but not so much as an interpretation sort of thing. So, take what you will, but he has this series on Eva where it's like the unique versus world spirit, reading Evangelion with Evoscopy. Evoscopy, I think, is the name of the series. But, there's some psychologists in the thumbnail, and it's looking very scholarly, if you know what I mean. And the names of these podcasts, too, where it's like Biopunk, Hegemonic Masculinity, and Insectoid Buddhism. So I don't know how much is that just like punching up the subject of what's going on here, maybe. But that just sounds smart to me. I'm not one of those people. I really don't claim to be a very big brain person when it comes to this stuff. Critical ecotopia, subversive kids, and technological conditions in Laputa. That sounds pretty cool. I think it's just really interesting. They're putting out kind of a podcast every other month or so, or two a month or something like that. But they're coming down to, they've covered a lot of Ghibli so far, pretty much everything from their beginning to the 90s. Their latest one being Princess Mononoke, Human Progress and Bleeding Gods. Less head assy, I suppose. No, but I really am fascinated by their channel. One of the videos I talked about on Digest was really interesting. The importance of stories in the work of Mario Kata, focusing specifically on Mario Kata's work and what they might say, and kind of what they relate with each other. I thought it was interesting. So it's definitely a channel to check out for. And they're also a fan of retro stuff. They're kind of telling you to watch more older anime. So I'm like, hell yeah, let's champion that shit. So yeah, I dig their stuff. Check it out, of course, please. Payne is another channel that we're checking out here. And the video I selected for the playlist is The Wind Rises, a legendary self-reflection that I really enjoyed because it's very emblematic of his type of content where he's reviewing pretty much major anime movies. He's gone through all of the Ghibli movies, I think pretty much all of Shinkai. I think he covered Weathering With You already. Yeah, so he's already got all of the Shinkai done, and he's going through a lot of major movies at this point, through Yamada's work and what have you. Not as much anime series, although earlier in his catalog he was doing more series stuff. But what I was really admiring about his videos with Wind Rises and Magnetic Rose and Angel's Egg, and a little bit of Weathering With You, it's not as much of the movie itself that he's reviewing, but really giving an overview of the background of not detailed production history or something like that. But he talks a lot, he focuses just as much on the outside importance and interesting bits about these movies as he does about the movies themselves. He's not the animation's so good, or he very much, I don't know how rarely he does that exactly, or how much he talks about the themes or something. I think he's talking about the movies in the general canon of the anime industry, I guess, and what that feels like, and kind of what it represents for the various creators and things like that. So it's very different, and I think it's pretty much consistent. He has information about these movies that I would not have found in any other standard review. So I think for that, I think it's really interesting. But I like how focused he is about really just covering these movies. And he just recently is starting to sort of branch out a little bit with Fooly Cooly, the first true anime of the 21st century. But like they are very standard reviews, but he doesn't call them that, and I like that. I just like that. It's very focused and specific, but a particular vibe, and I think he does a very thorough, interesting job. So it's it's not the most unique content, but I think it's very uniquely well executed, I would say. I think this is weird. It's weird how this isn't sort of as common of a thing you would expect. A lot of people just be like, I thought this movie was bad or something. It feels like that's not as much the case with Payne. I feel like Payne is more really talking about the significance of these movies from a non-biased lens. Although he does give a review at the kind of a score at the end. He does have his opinion in them. But that was never as much of a standout for me as that peripheral information he provides in these reviews. So I thought that was always really interesting. So yeah, I dig his stuff. Check it out. It's pretty cool. I've only reviewed one video from Ryu Token, his latest video, which was 6 months ago. And so he was definitely more active last year or the year before, which is, what it be, what it do. But I really like his channel just for the few videos that are on here. Like, he talked about Kurosawa, Kaiji, Legend of Galactic Heroes, a couple videos comparing the Getarobo manga to New Getarobo, the 2004 series. The one series I haven't seen out of the 3 OVAs for Getarobo, but I thought that was really interesting. The video I plugged in the playlist is an introduction to the Brave series, which was uploaded 10 months ago, and then he's like, this is an old upload that I forgot to upload, so it's even older than that. And it's an introduction. He's like, next time we'll go into the first one. And I'm like, oh. But maybe he moved on to, hopped onto a different channel or something, but he put out this other one. The Buchigiri one I really enjoyed, because he's talking about such unknown stuff. Also, Moeru Onisan was also a good video. I've pretty much name dropped almost every single one of his videos at this point. But me, I love me some retro anime YouTubers. Yeah, new videos whenever. I don't know how active he is lately. Certainly not at the moment, but I really like his stuff, and he's talking about stuff that nobody else is, which is always a real plus. So yeah, I check his stuff out. I think he covers it very well, and not too hostily or biasly or something like that. I was really enjoying it. Yeah, I should check out more of his stuff, because it's I don't know why I haven't watched the Kaiji or Fukumoto videos, because he talked not just Kaiji, everyone talks about Kaiji. He talked about part 4, like Kaiji the manga. So I'm like, ooh yeah, let's go. So I wish I would see more content from him, but I really enjoy his stuff. So maybe an influx of interest in his channel could get him back in here, or maybe he's just super busy or something happened. I don't know. What it be? So yeah, I enjoy his stuff. It's really cool. Here's your boy SteveSekai, and his channel honestly has way more variety than I realized until today. I was looking at it, and it's really is it doesn't make the same video twice. It's really great. He does have a recurring series of trash talk where he kind of talks about this shitty anime that he watched, and I guess he's just kind of attracted to it. I haven't really consumed any of those videos myself, but would it be? And he's also kind of a unique, it's funny. It's not as common anymore, at least with anime YouTube, just because ever since, I think specifically Digi, but not even Digi really covers, I don't know. But I guess Demolition D might be one. I don't know. But at least 2013, 2014, 2015 anime YouTube, it was always a very common thing where it's oh yeah, you can make it pretty much just anime clips and you'd be fine. You never have to show your face. So anime YouTube is never as much of a person talking to someone in the camera and whatever. And SteveSekai is a rare exception to that, I think. And I think he does great with that. I watched one of his latest videos, Why Your Brain May Hate Dubs, and I wasn't so much vibing with the reasoning behind it. I feel like it was very left, kind of Giga Brain, left field reasoning. But I liked his engagement with the audience, where he had various exercises, and he's like, all right, close your eyes at this moment, and did you do this and that? And he's all various engagement with the audience I thought was very different and interesting. But I wound up just kind of linking the Battle for Konosuba's Throne Isekai video because I really do think that was a really good example of his chemistry with the camera and discussion of these titles without too much like hostility or anything like that. I think he gives very thoughtful ideas, but it is another channel where it's like you really don't know what this guy's going to put out, and not just like not subject wise, but like just the way he's going to go about it wise. I think there's not very much like he's not like especially funny or especially insightful or especially one thing or another. I think SteveSekai's strength would have to be he's kind of like walked myself into that one. I would say it's his creativity. It's just like the way he's going about each of these subjects and the way he's going about them. I think it's interesting and different. But I'm enjoying his content a good deal. I think, and he also talks about variety, not just anime, but he's a big tokusatsu fan. So he has a couple of videos about that, and starting to be more in tune with the anime community. So he's kind of doing more videos a little bit about that. I think I guess that was a while ago. Man, it's already been 4 months since the RR video. Damn. And he's been streaming a little more too. But it's been great. He's been cool. Another channel that I'm personally affiliated with like, we talk often in our circles. But he's a good guy. That's indication. Oh boy, what a good sign. They're a good guy. No, I really like his channel. And the stuff that he makes. So I'm looking forward to what else he comes up with. It's cool. The Anime Misfit is the duo Shannon and Lamp talking about whatever they want. and sort of, I think their content at this moment could be divided into 3 parts. The first is the podcasty type videos where they bring on an anime YouTuber and they talk with them about a particular topic. Shannon kind of guiding the conversation and Lamp being there for support, as well as editing it and kind of the technical stuff. And then they have some essay type videos and some stuff like that. And this is about various topics that Shannon is covering, and sometimes it's edited by Lamp, sometimes some guest editors. And the thing that I linked in the playlist of stuff is something that I think is something is the latest sort of thing that they've been doing that I think is actually very exciting and kind of different. They're talking about anime news, which is like, yeah, okay, but it's called Casual Otaku News, and the thing that really sets it apart from other news type things is that there's a dialogue. There's actually a conversation with Shannon and Lamp that they actually have a really good chemistry with each other, and they bounce off each other really well. And I like the subjects they cover, and it's not too biased one way or the other, and they seem very in tune with the community and not too like not too like, oh, what's this gonna mean? Oh. Not in their own little world, I guess. I think they have very good awareness of what's going on. And I think that's contributed by their podcast where they talk to various YouTubers, including myself, which we had very good conversations with. I think they've been talking about good stuff, and I liked I didn't watch it, but like I like the subject of like, I don't care to watch spring or summer 2020 seasonal anime, with talking about that with Meta Hulk and various things like that, like really kind of keeping it real with the community and from their kind of humble little perspective, I guess. And I think it's nice. So that's very exciting. I really hope they continue this news segment. I think it's the best stuff. I've tried some of their essay stuff and it's okay. I'm not sure how much, it's fine. Not a lot of the subjects I think really stand out to me, but it's also very like oddball and like, wait, what is that? What even is that? It's like, can you enjoy Show by Rock backwards? It's like, I don't know what I'm getting myself into when watching that video. What does that mean? That's the interesting. It's like, huh? So very, very. I guess the word I'm starting to feel is absurd in a way. Kind of like, oh, what the fuck? But I think that's what makes it very interesting. But like, I really like their channel. I really like their dynamic and the vibes that they're having. So check it out. I actually really like it. I like their channel a good deal, and not just because I was a guest on their podcast or something. I really liked it. Then we have the Electric Hobo, who hasn't been so active for a couple of months, but they're probably just taking a break from their marathon of Miyamafava. And I think this is their second one. I think there might be their second Miyamafava that they did a couple months ago. And a couple of those videos are still up, and they might have unlisted a couple more. And it was also split between like videos and streams, which is pretty smart. The video I linked is still the one that I really feel is what I feel of their channel. Like, I think that the most interesting thing about his channel is the juxtaposition of sincerity and, I guess, madness. I don't know what to say. He has a very biting sense of humor and approach, I guess. It's a very, like, crude sometimes and a little wacky. And, like, you know, you can kind of tell with the vibe on his thumbnails and stuff, like anime toothbrush sex and top 5 shotguns. You know, it kind of memey and shitposty in a way. And this video I linked, which I also talked about on Digest, Beautiful Rain Anime Makes Local Hobo Squeal, is that sort of that same vibe or whatever. And like he has this running joke of taking a sip of a monster and like gagging. Like, he's very crude like that, but it matches with like him really giving a shit about what he talks about in terms of the sincerity angle. Like, there was no memes of jokes or anything like that in his Solanin, my favorite movie of all time video, or at least the beginning of it from what I watched. It was like, oh wow, this is not what I expect from this guy. I think the After the Rain video really takes a good balance of that, of like his sense of humor and jokes and like his vibe, I guess, that he has, and then the material and the subject itself is actually very sincere and very thoughtful, very interesting observations, and nothing too like elitist about it. But like he really he has his critical opinions. I think it's really interesting. God, I think it's really interesting. It's such a fucking meme. But I just saw his thumbnail for 123 subscribers special. And, like, he definitely has like an attitude about him, which I think is really interesting. Like a really big, heartfelt kind of thing, a show Purer Than the Universe. It's like one of his favorite shows that came out the past few years. It's stuff like that, and I really like the juxtaposition and the vibe that he has. So he's a very interesting channel. Not too active at the moment, and he might just be kind of like wrestling with what to do with it, maybe, and I'm not sure. I don't follow him too closely on Twitter or something like that. But I hope he's doing well. And I really like his stuff a good deal. So I think he should have 1,000 subscribers at this point. I think he deserves it. I think it's awesome. Definitely check their stuff out. Seaweed Ambassador. Frankly, I'm surprised he has only 170 subscribers. I still can't believe that. It's like, the guy makes such really good content. And he was actually on like one of the AniTube tier lists that came out, that was circulating like a year ago. So like, he was well known enough to get onto something like that, right? And he's very active in the community, and a lot of people know who he is, and he's a really nice guy, really sweet guy. And his content has so much variety to it. Like he does some podcasts where he's talking about more fitness related things. He has more fitness journey things. He hasn't done that in a while though. He started with AMVs and has been doing a lot of AMVs lately, which are all really great and kind of put boundary pushing and stuff. The video I linked in the description, I think, is alone. It's like, this guy should have 1,000 just for this video. I think it's really great. It's a really good personal introspective video on ocean waves and like really defending it, going out of his way to talk about the ending and what a lot of people have discomfort with. And he's like, no, it's fantastic in that way. But again, he really is like doing different stuff. He wrote poems about his favorite anime. He does a little tokusatsu thing here and there. I'm just looking at his channel. It's a lot of great variety to it, and I think it's awesome. I'm really enjoying his stuff, and he's a great guy. I don't know why he has this many. I don't know. But whatever to bemoan it, right? I think his stuff is great, and I I think he's enjoying a lot of what he's making, and that's the most important thing, really. It's not really a matter of like numbers and stuff. But I'm making it about numbers. Look how many people watch this. I'm repeating myself for like the 5th time. Look how many people will watch this video. If all those people subscribe to this guy, you'd be doing better. That's all I'm saying. And I think his stuff's great. Check out his AMVs. Check out this Ocean Wave video. Seriously, I think it's awesome. He has that again. It's like one of those rarer people that are going out of the way to really talk into a camera and perform in that way, which I think is really hard. It's not hard for me doing this because it's off script and I'm just kind of ranting off the top of my head or whatever. But like to do a scripted video, that was the most challenge. Like my access to the Zaki video, so fucking challenging. I could never do that again. I've thought about it, but it's like it's so hard, and it's great. But he's very well rounded and really great guy, really great content. Seriously, what the fuck? Why does he have only that many? It's pissing me off. I'm pissed for you. Whatever. I don't know. I hate to keep bringing it up. But I really enjoy his stuff. Please check it out. It's great. Velarix came onto the scene only like a year and a half ago or so, and I only found out about her channel very recently. But the real niche that she's bringing here is similar to Leth, and I would have mentioned Leth, but I mean, I checked last time, but like I can check again. I think Leth just deleted all their videos, or like privated all of them, and like got off of Twitter. I don't know what happened to Leth. This is what I mean with like, this is like, oh, they're back? What the fuck? Okay, well, so like, I mean, when I first made this list, Leth had taken all their videos off, and now they're back. I don't know what's going on. I mean, are they back active? Were they just gone for a month or something? I don't know what happened. That's weird. Anyway, but Leth and Velarix and Evynne as well are all in this kind of this sphere and stuff, and I'm enjoying Velarix's content just because she's talking about stuff that nobody else is. Like, and not just like nobody's talking about it, but nobody's talking about it positively. And the reason I mentioned Leth initially because Leth was in the same ballpark of really defending these shows that nobody else is defending, and nobody else is going out of their way to really talk about why they're great. But you just look at the videos that they're talking about. I mean, the one I recommended on the playlist is their latest video, is Velarix's latest video. The Eighth Sun was a strong start for Isekai, Knights and Magic, Wise Man's Grandchild. It's like all the like generic Isekai seasonal trash that everybody kind of complains about, but nobody actually talks about. Like they say it exists, but they never really talk about it the way that Velarix is, and is really appreciating each of them. And it's just in their wheelhouse, and I think it's great that somebody has a defender in this way. That's very authentic. It's not like they're just kind of sarcastically going out of their way or something like that. I don't think that's what Velarix is doing. How not to summon watch How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. Although I really like I think the first video I talked about from her channel was the anime adaptations of Junji Ito's work, where she actually goes out defending the Junji Ito collection, where it's like, this is actually not a bad adaptation in terms of like pure story, like beat for beat. Like this is the Ito story, and it doesn't do too bad with the visual aspect, but she really goes after Eye Patch Wolf in terms of like the points that he brings up. But it's great that there's sort of someone defending this sort of stuff and having this voice and perspective. I think it's really important because it could really become a circle jerk if AniTube is just all of us are accepting that these videos, these shows don't have a voice to defend them or anything like that, or everybody kind of beats up on them. So I really like Velarix's perspective, and I think that's a great niche. So yeah, I really dig that, and I'm looking forward to more content from her. It's great. Vindy Vondo, everyone's favorite rat, coming in here with the meme. No, I don't know where to. I was like, I'm going to start with that name, and then I don't know. I didn't plan any further. Shit. But Vindy has been doing a lot of good work lately, and really being more active on his personal channel. He's a recurring member of the Weeb Club, which is a podcast only channel with What the What and Crafts Dwarf. Vindy's strength is definitely being able to talk off the cuff and to really go into this analysis thing without much planning or scripting or anything like that. A lot of the content on this channel are long videos of probably, and I would imagine they're unscripted, of chapter reviews for Weekly Shonen Jump. I was about to say Wall Street Journal, because that's what I always think when I see WSJ. I swear, I always think that. But there's a lot of videos like that, and he's very much of a Shonen Jump boy. But not like the kind that's like rank. He's not like a Shonen tuber, right? Like a lot of these Shonen, like people quote unquote Shonen tube that I've omitted a lot of on the actual tier list, is because like they're just talking about the stories in their previous context, or like power levels, or who could beat who, and a lot of like headcanon stuff or categorizations, like database type content, like top 10 devil fruit powers or something, right? But Vindy is really talking in the more broadly, and really being well read in the current state of Shonen Jump, and more about the community too. The couple of his latest videos is sort of a break from his channel, doing something a little different that I'm actually starting to pay a little more attention to, because I'm not as much of a Shonen Jump person, so like I couldn't really. I don't know if I'd be able to fully enjoy some of these weekly Shonen chapter reviews personally, or like these really big videos, which I don't know if they're scripted or not. But like he has this really big Dragon Ball in 2020, a series retrospective. I'm not sure how much of that is scripted or not. But like, I think it's great that he's not scripted. I think that there's a lot of candidness and truth bombs and engaging type of content that could come from being unscripted. And so I think it's great that Vinny is doing that and kind of carving into that wheelhouse. You know, to be able to talk about this Plague of Gripes Naruto video for 6 hours on stream. Granted, it got smashed in the last hour. But I think it's really a really good strength of his, I think. And he's streaming a lot too, which is obviously plays into those strengths, that you have to be live, you have to be unscripted the whole time. So I think he's doing great with that. But I'm bouncing all over the place. The stuff that I'm more engaged with when it comes to his content has been the more like community centered ideas, where he's kind of going on into the web and reacting to certain things, like anime TikToks, and kind of exploring that world where not a lot of us have, or not a lot of us care. And he's reacting in that way and making a lot of these sharp observations, sometimes off topic, sometimes on tangents. But those are sometimes really interesting. And I think there was more of a focus and more of a cohesive, more focus, I guess, with this recent one that I linked in the description, which is less, I don't know how much emblematic it's going to be of his content in general. But the Bad Anime Merch thing, I think, is a really good. I really enjoyed watching that video, because he's diving through anime community subjects with everyone else and kind of reacting in live terms with like, what the fuck is that? You know? I think that's really fun, engaging content that is not as represented here. So I think it's really great, and I think he's doing really well with channel growth and everything, and congrats to him on stuff. So yeah, I'm enjoying his stuff, and I'm looking forward to more from him. Then we have Yata Kun. Yata Kun has more essay type videos and a lot more experimentation too. I really liked something I talked about on Digest was review in 4 frames, talking about this concept of taking an anime, using 4 frames and using those as a representation of your feelings about a particular show, describing them in that way. I think Yata Kun is just kind of a very by the basics, standard, really good essayist. The video I think that really shines at like what they can do and stuff that I think would be worth subscribing to for sure is their Red Spider Lily video, Anime's Hellflower, which I think is their most popular. It's close to their most popular. It's not quite. Although I will say it's nice that like it's not just kind of essayist and kind of positive stuff, but there is some videos of bad anime reviews and talking about pupa, amnesia, diabolic lovers, pretty easy targets, all things considered, but still pretty interesting. I like that mix for sure. And then I'm doing different stuff. Like I'm not sure what this is with the Haikyuu fantasy draft. Can we make it to nationals sort of deal? I think that's really interesting. Like doing a sort of a haiku draft. I'm not sure what that is, but like, you know, kind of different stuff. And I'm enjoying their channel. And, you know, this is also kind of a biasy thing. Like, I've talked to them often and things like that, and on Digest, of course. But I like their channel, and it's another channel where I don't really know what to expect next, and it's pretty active and exciting to look at, exciting to see where it goes, I guess. So check it out. I think it's really cool. And bringing up the rear, bringing in the back, that's for last perhaps, but more like it's alphabetical, so, you know. No, I'm just calling attention to the last one. Your bead, it's hard to really pin down what his channel is like, because he's another channel that's a little bit like Hobo, where there's a very delicate balance of sincerity, like sincere analytical content and really talking sincerely about the stuff that he's talking about, and then being kind of more humorous and having more like kind of some joke stuff, like roasting anime characters and watching beach episodes in anime and talking a little bit about that. There's a really interesting balancing act that he's doing here. The one that I linked in the description was The Point of Kaiji, which I really enjoyed, and not just because he references my video in it or anything. But like, yeah, I think he's talking about a lot of different stuff. I mean, there was this video I looked into who was the leader of the anime community that was kind of interesting. Pretty dated at this point, but, you know, still interesting. Pretty successful video on Devilman Crybaby, interesting. I'm sorry if I only have to say interesting things to say. But like that's a channel that like I think is doing a lot of different stuff and interesting to follow. So, and pretty active in the community, at least in terms of like seeing him everywhere on Twitter and stuff. So it's good to see him. Yeah, I like his channel a good deal. Also like just talking about different stuff, right? It's like 3 super banned Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Like what? Oh, and yeah. Different stuff like that. So it's like, if you just check that out if you think that's interesting, I think. Sorry if it's not, you know, would it be? I really like his channel. It's cool. Great analysis, James. Wow, you really got it. I like his sense of humor for sure. I'm just really, it's dead of night now. It's like real late. It got real late. But I hope you enjoyed that video of 24 anime YouTubers that are under 1,000 subscribers, which by the time this video goes by a year, I hope all of them have continued making some videos in some regard and have gained more success, hopefully over 1,000. Hopefully the majority of them have hit over 1,000 subscribers and have kept finding greater success. I think it'd be great if one of these guys kind of blew up and became kind of a new thing. I think that'd be really great if one of them kind of found a stride. I think that'd be sweet. But keep grinding at it. I love everybody's content, and I'm happy to do this as sort of a representative sample, I guess, of what anime YouTube could be if you really look for the right channels and not just kind of like, oh, surface level, ooh, Gigik, you know, whatever. Not to shade on Gigik, of course. But for those people that are just over 1,000 subscribers but aren't going to be on the tier list, I'm really sorry. It's like there's a short list of channels that I'm like, I don't feel strong enough about their content to put it on there, but they're over, so they can't be. They would be in here if they were under 1,000, and there's stuff like that, and I feel bad. I don't know. I still want to do this sort of thing, but it's sacrificing the potential, like, and also of those people that there are way more under 1,000, way more I could have picked, for sure. But this is just the content that really sticks out to me, and I want to just be limited because this video is already like over an hour, I'm pretty sure. I don't even know. I have not been watching myself this entire time, so I don't know how long this video is going to be. It's definitely over an hour. But like, there's so many more channels I could be checking out. And all of these other guys, they have their own circles and they kind of their own connections and stuff, and they have channels that are linked in their sidebar of channels that they're friends with. So check those channels out too, maybe. I'm subscribed to as many people as possible, of course, too. And maybe next year I could do something like this. You never know. I think that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I'm hoping you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching. I don't think I need to thank my patrons for this exactly, because it's like a bonus video. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Yo, peace.